except for bypassing enchantments. So if you're enchanting with like Blessing Against Wounds, it bypasses your Blessing Against Wounds and deals a wound to the location struck. If you're wearing Protection from Magic, it goes through that. If you're wearing Undead Minion, it would go through that and it would still kill you. You would not go insubstantial, you would just die. You know, Undead Minion does.
I can't even be enchanted as a barbarian.
Okay. Okay, Lightning Bolt. Common theme amongst all the damaging spell balls. It is weapon breaking, armor breaking, and it inflicts a wound to the location struck, and it has an engulfing stop effect. So if it hits your cloak, but doesn't hit your arm or armor or weapon or anything, sure, no wound, but you're still stopped for 60 spell balls, right?
Hey!
Is it 60 for spell balls?
I think so.
Yeah, duh.
I'm told it's 60.
Yeah, I think it's 60, and then it's like 30 for arrows.
30 for purples and arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all it is.
Okay, and that covers all of the, I'll call them the damaging ones. Sphere of Annihilation is kind of a damaging one. So, if it hits your weapon, weapon destroying. If it hits your shield, shield destroying. Oh, on that note, Fireball is shield destroying, but...
Does Sphere work on a hardened shield too?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Hardened shield only affects heavy padded weapons and destruction arrows.
Okay, but does it affect AA?
So the funny interaction between Sphere of Annihilation and AA is that Sphere of Annihilation ignores armor. Player struck, die. Die outright. They don't take a wound, they just die. And since it ignores armor, it doesn't trigger ancestral armor. So if you hit a warrior that's got their AA on any location that isn't their weapon or shield, they die. With the exception of illegal hit locations. So if you hit someone in the head, they don't die. That's not a hit, doesn't count. If you hit someone's foot on the ground, they don't die. Per V9, we're in that weird spot in between.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all the damaging ones. Now we get the funny ones that don't do any damage, but... Yay. Excellent. Okay, so we'll start with Entangle Ball. Doesn't do any damage, doesn't do any wounds, doesn't break armor. It's nothing except for the effect. It is an engulfing effect, so if it hits your cloak or any limb or anything except for your head or your foot on the ground, it inflicts 60 seconds of stop, which is your feet are planted, and well, that's all there. Yeah, that's all there is to the stop state. Not stunned. I've noticed there's some confusion between the brown and the green. As an etiquette, if you're throwing brown and green balls, maybe indicate what you're throwing so that the person receiving it knows whether they're being hit by a green or brown. We have a couple of players who are colorblind in the way that they can't tell. They have a difficulty telling the difference between green and brown. It is not required that you say your spell ball name when you're throwing it. That is an etiquette.
Thanks for the clarification. Yeah.
Okay, next engulfing ball. Got ice ball. Same thing as any other engulfing ball, where if it hits anything that is on you, that is not your foot on the ground or your head, it inflicts its state. In case of ice ball, that's frozen for 60 seconds. Frozen state can't be affected by any attacks or abilities unless they explicitly call out the frozen state. And we've got Suppression Bolt. Same deal as before, but suppressed. Can't cast or... I want to say can't cast or activate abilities, but I think it might just be cast, and there are a couple abilities that are really weird with that interaction of, oh, you're suppressed, but you can still use them. I'm not going to get into all of them right now. And the last one for the crowd control spell balls, this one's a weird one. It's not engulfing, but it also doesn't deal any wounds or any damage to your armor or weapons. It is abeyance. It ignores armor and inflicts stun for 60 seconds. If it hits your weapon or your shield, it does not do anything. If it hits your cloak but does not hit you, it does not do anything. And that about sums up all the spell balls.
Yay.
Nice job, thank you.
Any questions?
No.
What happens if two balls collide in the air?
Then both of them are inactive.
Ah, nice.
So they do they expend their effect on the first thing they hit.